Hi everybody, my name's Alan. On behalf of the crew, I'd like to welcome you to another edition of Bridging Heaven and Earth. You know, all I can think about really at this moment is what an opportunity we're presented with in this moment and the next moment and the next moment and the next moment. And every moment really that we have in this human body to feel love and share it, to be of service, to come together as what we really are, as that incredible oneness, as that incredible pieces of that infinite and that inclusive energy that is this planet and that is each and every one of us. To come together as an opportunity together, collaboratively and collectively and joyously and lovingly, to enjoy having these physical bodies and to enjoy being on this extraordinarily beautiful planet Earth that's hurtling through space on a ball, that's just unbelievably beautiful when you step 1 inch off of it. And the opportunity we have to come together now is so incredible and so opportune and so available to us that it's almost extraordinary that we haven't taken it yet. It's almost extraordinary that we haven't been able to see as a species the glory of who we are and what our opportunities are on this planet. And how we can come together and serve together and bring that light back, bring that love back, bring that magic back, bring that heart back to heal the heart of this planet. What are the problems on this planet? What are the situations that we all know don't serve us? What is the root of that, of all those problems? What is the heart that's toxic because we feel disconnected from ourselves, from the planet, from each other, from love, from God? And now we are here to do something about it, to recognize, to reconnect. We're not even reconnecting because we never were actually disconnected, but to recognize, to realize that we were never disconnected, that there is one, that there is an unconditional love that we as human beings can feel, that that is our opportunity, that that is our blessing, that that is our gift, that that is our destiny. And, you know, let's do it, and let's do it together. And now the opportunity to be of service, to serve the love, to serve the healing, to serve the reconnection to each of our one heart is so available. There are so many vehicles and so many, you know, we were just talking before about, you know, all of us at Bridging, all of us in so many groups and organizations and people and the guests on tonight's show and the guests on, you know, show after show on this planet are here to build a tent big enough for everybody. Everybody to feel included, everybody to feel infinite, everybody to feel unconditional love, everybody to know the oneness. And so now is the time that we join together. Now is the time that we collaborate together. That whatever we were doing before, whatever we think was important before, now is the time for us to come together in joy, in love, in collaboration, in creativity, to build this tent of love, this tent of oneness, this tent of unity. Because that's really what it is here. And tonight's guest, if you've watched the Bridging shows before, if you Google the Bridging shows, you know that this Michael Tamura has been on the Bridging show more than anyone else, has in a certain way had as much impact on Bridging as anyone else because of his commitment to that experience, his unrelenting desire, his unrelenting joy, his unrelenting passion to know that connection and to share it and share it and share it. And no matter what travails he seems to go through, as we all do in this physical body, he's out there again, teaching and guiding and laughing and loving. And, you know, as most of you know, Michael's revered around the world as a as a life coach, as a master teacher, as a visionary, as a healer, as a clairvoyant, a pioneer of spiritual healing and psychic development. He's the author of an extraordinary new book, You Are the Answer. He has powerful seminars and workshops all over the world. And really, I mean, to me, the real key is just the joyousness and the loving and the conscious way he approaches every minute and every day and every person. Michael really is an example of treating everyone as you'd like to be treated. And I've been around him a lot of times in a lot of places in a lot of situations. And it's a great honor and a great gift to have Michael with us again. And as most of you know, we usually show, music videos to show all the ways of connecting, all the ways that we can reach that center, all the different gifts that we have that we can share in service to serve the love. And tonight we have two beautiful videos, one by the amazing Cecilia and the one by a good friend of Bridging, Wolfrobe, an instrumental that he did. And also, as most of you know, we're in the middle of an extraordinary international healing art project that came to us at Bridging as a vision, as a dream, as an acupuncture, as a healing for the planet. And to use this medium, this Bridging vehicle that reaches people, millions of people all over the world through YouTube and Vimeo and Sky Channel and satellite TV in Europe and all the public stations and cable stations in the United States. And that anybody who wants to produce a new original piece based on the theme Bridging Heaven and Earth, we'll put it on the shows, we'll have art exhibits, we'll have art project shows, we have an extraordinarily beautiful website, heaventoearthart.com. And it's just used as a healing, as a service, as a way for us to collaborate and be together. And everyone is welcome. I mean, we've had people from 2 years old to 92 years old, extraordinarily well-known, world-renowned artists to people who just picked up Sharpie markers. It's not about the skill level. It's not about the size, about the format. Any size, any format, any skill level, any age, anything. Just if you have the intention to be part of that collaboration, part of that healing, join us, send it in, we'll put it on the website, we'll put it on the shows. And tonight we have two extraordinary pieces. One is from Spain, from Adelia Govantes Romero from Sevilla, Spain, and Jim Dickerson from Oregon, USA. And pieces are coming in from all over the world. And as of right this moment, we have probably over 330 pieces. If you want to be uplifted, if you want to be empowered, go to heaventoearthart.com and just go page after page of extraordinary collaborators, extraordinary lovers, extraordinary people of service. And see all the different formats, all the different ways of expressing that desire to be of service, that desire to feel love and share it. So we have those two pieces. So really, the next 50 minutes or so in your life, there's an opportunity for something so grand and so glorious. And then for every breath and every moment after that, let us come together and feel the love and share it. And just joyously and lovingly, let's get it on. Okay, so join me in a short meditation, and we'll have Cecilia's amazing When You Wish Upon a Star, and then Michael will be with us, and art, and more videos, and just an opportunity. So join me in a short meditation. Thank you. So really, if you haven't seen and heard and felt Cecilia, settle in. Cecilia is one of the most beautiful, powerful singers, so lovely, it's all about service for Cecilia. When You Wish Upon a Star. Enjoy.
One of them is gjenstår det bare å takke for oss her fra Gjøvikfjellene. Ha fortsatt en hyggelig lørdagskveld, og husk på søndagsprogrammet i morgen klokka 1:30 på samme kanal.
Takk for oss!
Hi everybody, welcome back. So Cecilia, I mean, she is really, really beautiful and really special. And When You Wish Upon a Star. An incredible piece of art that came in, really was sent to us from Sevilla, Spain. Delia Gavantes Romero, 3 enlightenment seeds. You know, just an amazing, amazing piece. It's watercolor on natural cotton paper. And again, anybody who wants to be part of the healing, wants to be part of the acupuncture, wants to be part of the creativity, the collaboration, please join us. Everyone is welcome. The more people involved, the better the healing, the better the collaborative energy that goes out, the better the feeling of connectedness, the better the feeling of creativity. And, you know, that's really what we're here to do and to serve in that way. So, and we're on the set with Michael again. So.
Again and again.
You know, it's really great, you know, to have you back here again and to, you know, just share, I mean, all the experiences you've been through in the last year, and a lot of stuff has gone on. Yeah. So, you know, at the opening, I was talking a little about, you know, it seems like this time to use some kind of metaphors, like to heal the root, to heal the heart, and that's really the one issue on this planet. Why don't you talk to that? I know you've talked a lot about it in a lot of different ways.
I've had some experiences.
And you've had experiences with heart's issues.
And healing the heart, yeah.
Right.
Yeah, in fact, I was looking down and I have one of these medical alert bracelets now.
Wow.
The first word on it says heart.
Wow.
Wow. It's a good reminder.
Right.
Yeah. I was thinking, after I had my last death experience in August, and I had to get one of these because now I have a defibrillator in my chest. And I call that my private paramedic in a box. Zap me if I keel over again.
Right.
And so I had to get this bracelet, and I was thinking, what do I put on this thing, you know? And so the first idea I had was, if found dead, return to maker.
But that was too long.
I thought
it's too long to read.
And then you flip it over and found alive, return to wife, you know.
Right.
But I learned in emergency situations, people don't seem to, you know, get the humor a lot of times. They don't take you seriously.
It is a little tricky at that point.
So then they might say, oh, leave him, you know.
Right. Right.
But it's an amazing thing. For one thing, people have always thought of dying as a negative thing. You know, you don't talk about it, and you don't mention it at the dinner table. People lose their appetite. But from the time I was a little kid, every time I went to a funeral, it's the person who died who's always laughing, and everybody else is crying or unhappy. And I've always wondered about that, because I've always seen the people who died, and they're standing there and they're just going joyous, and they're like when my mom died, she first came to me and said, "I'm free," before I knew that she had passed on. And so for years, I've been looking at, okay, why is it that when we leave, we're so happy? Well, I have the answer now. I've died 3 times now in the last 7 years. And in fact, one of the times I almost died, I had a near-death experience, was the day after I was on your show last year.
A lot of people say that. If it doesn't metaphorically, it's ruined them for quite some time. But you, an extreme fellow.
I had to put it in
right,
practice.
Right, you had
right?
to manifest
Yes,
it clearly.
yeah. But it's each time is really different. A lot of people who don't know think that death is death. You know, it's a one-shot deal, and well, obviously it's not a one-shot deal. Obviously, even if you don't come back in the same incarnation, in the same body, you come back in another lifetime, and starting as a child. And so many people ask me, is it difficult to die? Well, dying is easy. It's the coming back that's much more challenging, at least from my perspective. And the other thing is, every single time death is different. My experience of dying in this lifetime, the 3 times, each time completely different. The coming back is completely different. The purpose is completely different. And my recollections of prior deaths, you know, from other lifetimes, each one is very different. So it's not like what most people think. Oh, did you go through a tunnel? Did you get to the, you know, all the common ideas about death? It doesn't necessarily have to be that way. And so why I'm talking about that in relationship to the healing the heart, well, in healing the heart, you have to learn to die correctly. So each time, what is it that causes, you know, last night we were talking, you and I, about all the difficulties and the problems, the challenges, the crises that's happening all over the world, and how do we heal that? Well, we can't just put a Band-Aid on it from the outside. You know, people have to do certain things to keep things going. We do need to eat, we need to have services and whatnot. But to heal the underlying thing, you have to get to the heart of the matter, right? And whether it's an individual human heart or the collective global heart, it's still, we have to get to the heart, which is really the word we use for the center. It's the base of everything. Like you said, the root of everything is really the heart. And what is the heart? It's the place where we experience the oneness, the limitless. And what makes something limitless is it's not divided. And it's not separate little units. It's all. And so you can call that God. You can call that spirit. You can call that, you know, cosmic consciousness, or whatever you want to call that. There's many different words for it, but all those are just words until you experience it. And this is part of what's important, is that each human being experiences being in the center, being in that limitless, undivided beingness that we each are. And when we are there, there's no going back on that. It's forever. When you've experienced forever, no matter what happens, you still experience forever. And when you look into somebody's eyes, you know, we see each other and we see forever if they're present. If they're spaced out, you have this glazed look and lights are on, but nobody's home.
You're not saying that about current company, I hope. Oh no, I've been revealed.
No, there's a lot of light in your eyes, right? Because you're here. How long have you been doing this? What, 16 years?
Pretty much.
Yeah, and I've been here 14 out of those 16
really,
years.
A lot of time.
No
a lot of beautiful moments, really.
Yeah, and each time is different. And yet we, like you said earlier, we keep plodding along, we keep chipping away, and so many people who are spiritually oriented, they'll go from one thing to another and they lose interest. And essentially because it's difficult. It's being here in this body, in this world, is a huge challenge to spirit. In spirit, it's easy. There's no darkness, there's no division, there's eternity, and it's all great. And so then you come back. And to make that choice of coming back, well, when I made the choice of coming back in this last experience, I had no idea what I'm coming back to in the form of this body. Because when I died, it was instant. I'm just like being sucked right out. And coming back, I had no idea, but I knew I had to come back. There was a whole new space. And the first time I died was very much like a rebirth, right? When I came back, it was very momentary death. It wasn't a long time. And when I came back, and I can tell my heart kick-started and everything, and I'm at home at that point. And from that point on, it was just like starting fresh, like a baby, newborn baby. And but this third time, completely different experience. Coming back was, it took me about 6 days after my heart stopped to start coming back. And it's interesting to talk to people who saw me in the hospital and after the surgeries and stuff like that, where they've talked to me and told me stories. Raphael, my wife, said that one of the doctors came and sat next to me at the bed and talked for 3 hours. I have no recollection whatsoever. And Raphael's repeatedly told me the same stories because I would ask about, why am I here? And she even got to the point where she had to take a video and just replay the video.
Right. Here's the same story I've told you 70 times. Michael.
And it wasn't until the 6th day after everything that it kicked in. I had a continuity of memory, not just 5 minutes at a time. And because I wasn't here. We don't have to have a big part of us to function, keep the physical body alive. And of course, we're not really lively.
No, you're not running a triathlon at that.
Yeah,
Right.
We're not doing complicated equations or anything like that. But the amazing thing, so many miracles from the first moment to still to this day. But one of the things that the doctors and the nurses and all the medical people that Raphael ran into, one of the first things they would tell her when I was in surgery is to prepare her that if I made it, even, then the chances of being brain dead or severely damaged that way was, they were preparing her, saying, your husband's going to be a vegetable, And she should have said, well, he was a vegetarian.
Maybe now we'll start eating meat.
He should eat more meat.
Right, I told you. That's what did this.
You are what you eat.
Right, there you go. A vegetable.
And so it was a very interesting situation.
Well, do you remember where you were?
Oh, yes.
Okay,
yeah.
why don't you talk a little about that?
I want to talk about how I remember it.
Oh, yeah.
Is interesting because some of the times, earlier deaths, it's not remembering, it's you're there and just like right now we're talking and you're not remembering that, you're experiencing it, and then 5 minutes from now, if you said, okay, Michael, would you describe what you experienced in the last 5 minutes, it's just repeating what we just went through, right? But this time it was fundamentally different. This time, because of the anesthesia of the surgery, and the doctor said that's natural, you tend to have retroactive amnesia. So after the surgery, I don't remember, to this day, I don't remember 9 days before the surgery. And I don't remember the first 5 days after the surgery at all. I have vague recollections of the 5th day when Raphael drove me home. Little bits and pieces of, I remember vaguely I went into the car, vaguely we stopped at Costco.
And bought all this.
We had to stop for my prescriptions and stuff.
Right.
And then vaguely getting home, but it's not until the next morning that I start to remember, what I just did. And so that's on the physical level. It took me until about 3 to 4 weeks afterwards that I really start to have larger chunks of memory back. But none of my memory is about the physical. I have no recollection other than what people have told me afterwards, what happened physically to my body and everything. But what I remember very clearly is what happened in spirit. This time the death was completely different. My experience was not a gradual leaving of the body, leaving from the body. It's like being sucked out by a hydraulic vacuum thing and immediately put into this place which the only word I have to describe it is this incredible sanctuary. It's this total sanctuary of limitless space, but at the same time it's not limitless in the sense of there's no boundaries. There's a sense of it's a particular space. It's a very safe space. And there was no one else there. It's just a place to commune with God, if you will. And there is a kind of a form in this space where there's a center, and in the center is, it reminded me of this cosmic fireplace. This center has this total flame, this eternal flame, and it's alive. And it communicates to you, but not like this. And there's no sound, there's nothing there other than just beingness. And you're in the presence of this divine beingness. And there is communication, and there's this tremendous sense of being taken care of.
Was there you and the divine presence, or at any
It's
point?
like that, yeah. And
there wasn't like one divine presence in you?
no, it's all.
All.
Yeah.
All and everything.
Permeating everything.
Right, okay.
But there is the sense of, I am there. Okay? It's almost like sitting by the fireside, in a way. But I, of course, don't have a body in that space. It's just a consciousness, if you will. And in earlier times, I've had experiences where there's no me. There's absolutely just beingness. And until after everything, I look back at it and saying, oh yeah, this is kind of like the experience I had. But in this situation, I can talk about it because I am there. It has nothing to do with this body. It has nothing to do with this particular personality. It's just a greater part of my beingness. And the sense of it was, I was there for 3 of the first days. The first 3 days after my heart stopped, that's where I was taken. And in all my other deaths and experiences, I went places with even guidance and stuff. But this time, it was not anything I put any choice into. I was taken from here to there and nothing else. And after this period there, then I'm taken to a whole different realm in which there are these temples of healing and learning. So I spent a lot of time, probably over the next few days, when I'm going and coming kind of a thing, in these temples of learning, getting my preparation to return. So this was the most of so-called time that passed here while I was there is one of being prepared and preparing myself on the return. And returning with the intention of returning with more of myself than ever before. So already, I would say I'm about 40 to 50% back from my death. Now going on almost four months. Yeah, about almost 4 months ago, and but compared to how much of myself has ever been here in this body, I'm back probably 80%. So there's an extra 30% or so of myself that's never been in this body, possibly never been in any incarnation, that's being prepared to come back into this body. So it's
because the need is here now
the
for
need
that.
is here now, and some of it is just a certain kind of energy to be here, and which will impact everything I do. And
Right, you're vibrating.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, like a taser. All right, now we'll have the second video, Wolfrobe, When Earth Shifts, and it's an instrumental. Wolfrobe's just this amazing musician. He used to come to all the shows and play music here, and everybody would get blown away. And it's just about these current times of the changing Earth situations and the old paradigms dying and new ones coming forth, and our choice to create, what we really want, and to create the paradigms based on love and truth and collaboration. So, When Earth Shifts, Wolfrobe. Enjoy. Hi everybody, welcome back. So that was Wolfrobe, When Earth Shifts, pretty powerful. And the amazing art piece, again, for, a new original piece based on the theme Bridging Heaven and Earth, specifically done for the International Healing Art Project. Jim Dickerson, Bridging Heaven and Earth, Blue Africa. It's a mixed media, watercolor, oil, pastel, and sea salt on Arches paper. Jim is from I think it's Gold Bend, Oregon. It's in Oregon on the coast, I think, near Eugene. So another amazing piece. Jim has his own website. I think go to the Bridging site and look at his page, Jim Dickerson, and there's a link to his website. Amazing art, just an amazing being, and everyone is welcome to join us, so please do. So Michael, why don't you talk more about the healing of the heart, physical, emotional, spiritual, and...
Well, also the healing of the physical heart it's the number one disease in the country, I think, or the number one killer in the country as far as people who die from heart disease. And so there's a lot of fear around heart disease. Well, there's a lot of fear around cancer, there's a lot of fear around all kinds of disease. And that's essential part of healing the heart is to purify it of fear. Because fear is just a product of division, product of separation. And how much is there? How much do we carry around in that? I've taught a lot of people to develop their clairvoyant abilities, to see, to be able to see the truth from the lies, and to be able to see spirit, to see energy, the whole bit. And so people ask me a lot of times, well, what is clairvoyance? What's your definition of clairvoyance? And I haven't come up with anything better than what Jesus said in the Sermon on the Mount, where he says, "Blessed are the pure of heart, for they shall see God." And you can't beat that, because if you can see God, God is all. And if you can see God, you're a pretty good clairvoyant if you can see all, right? So that's the epitome of clairvoyance. And then he also, in that one sentence, gives the instruction. The whole instruction is blessed are the pure of heart. If your heart is pure, then you will see. So the less, what does that mean to be pure of heart? Means it's not full of divisions. When we think about it, every day, how many times do we divide against ourselves and against other people, against other things? Where I'm over here, you're over there, it's resistance and competition. This society's built up with competition. And what competition really boils down to is I can't have myself as I am. I'm not enough as I am. I have to be better, I have to be bigger, I have to be faster, smarter, whatever. And so we set up from the very early age to get into competition with ourselves, and then that just plays it out in relationship to other people, other countries. And so everything gets divided. And we carry all that division in our heart until we wake up to that and go, okay, we can't have all this division. The heart is the place, regardless of whether it's physically, spiritually, psychically, emotionally, any aspect of the heart is where we experience oneness, where we experience the undivided, limitless beingness that is. And So in the process, what we call dying, when we're looking at dying from the place of the body, again, like I said earlier, it's the cessation of breathing and heartbeat and all of that stuff. It's all physiological. But from the perspective of the soul, dying is letting go of all these divisions, letting go of believing in the lies and the illusion of what seems to be. Illusion is just what seems to be. And so how much of our everyday life do we go around assuming that what seems to be the person, what seems to be this person we're dealing with, whatnot, that's the truth. But that's not true. That's not what clairvoyance is. Clairvoyance is to be able to look past that, to see beyond that, to see the truth underlying what appears to be. And when you go deeply enough, you start to see that light that being is. It doesn't matter what kind of face you have, what kind of body style, and it really doesn't even matter if your body is ill or healthy. There's souls that I've seen that are so beautiful, awake and bright, who was incarnated in incapacitated body or a dysfunctional body. And there's souls who are asleep. Sometimes they're incarnated in the most healthy, fit body there is. And so it's not where the body is. A lot of times, even, especially some spiritual people have the concept that if you're good, you should be healthy. You shouldn't be dropping dead.
Right, three times.
Three times.
Nuva den, is this?
Yeah. So people
Right.
have that question.
Yeah, a lot of
well, this
concepts.
guy's supposed to be a healer. And what kind of healer is he when he's so sick he drops dead, type of a thing. And I always joke that a dead healer is no good,
It's harder for
So I keep on coming back.
You're going to make this right sooner or later.
Yeah, what they haven't caught on is,
Right.
wait a minute, are they sending him back? They don't want him over there. Let's send him back.
I think we need you here at the Times.
Yeah, it's what a great thing. It's a great thing to experience life. And earlier at the opening you said about life. Things happen in life. Every single person. It doesn't matter if you're famous. It doesn't matter if you're wealthy, poor, whatever country you're from. Things happen in life here, and not all of them are fun things from the perspective of an individual. And we go through life, and there's a lot of suffering. There's not a single person I know who hasn't suffered some, and some have suffered a great deal. And so it's not an easy thing to be here, to live as a human being. And yet, it's an amazing thing. When you are living here as a soul, and you know you're limitless, you know there's no division, you know that you can't die. Somebody can't kill you. They can kill the body off, but you'll be back. So I have to warn people, if you hate me so much and you have to kill me, go ahead, but you'll be sorry.
Right.
I won't be. I'll be laughing at you, and you'll be sorry because you, if you think you're going to get rid of somebody by killing the body off, you're very wrong, because if that person's bothering you already and they have a body to take care of, how much more can they bother you if they don't have a body to take care of anymore? They're on your case all the time, So it's
Be a fine mess.
yeah. So these are things we all learn as souls as we go through lifetimes after lifetimes. Even the densest of us, we start to learn these things, and that's all part of the healing of the heart. Healing of the heart really is living, and living fully. And when you're fully living, you encounter things that scare you. We all have things that we get frightened about. And so that's the key. It's a signal. And instead of being frightened that we're frightened, if we become aware, there's fear. What is this fear about? Because there's nothing really to be afraid of. They can't kill me. And what is this, scary feeling that runs through the body? Well, I've had that where I'm sitting next to somebody who's terrified. And their energy is all over the place, and it's running right through from my top of my head down to my toes. And fear feels just like fear. And I go, whoa, that's a lot of fear. And I go, whose fear is this? And I see this person's fear here. Well, amazing things happen, especially in a large group of people, where when that fear, you realize who's really afraid that you're feeling the fear from. And when you start communicating with them, within a very short time, the fear starts to back off. Because fear is where that person is isolated and divided against themselves. And the minute there's communication, one-to-one communication between two souls, two who are infinite, the one who's more aware reminds the other who forgot that, hey, you're infinite, you're limitless, you're never going to die. Okay?
You're included.
You're included. And I see you. That's what clairvoyance really is I see you. And I spent quite a few days in ICU in the hospital. I was very happy,
Right.
I see, they see me.
Learning limericks and all. This is the limerick, I see you.
Yeah, we'll have to start a university, I
Right.
see you.
Right.
Yeah. And we can have T-shirts and sweatshirts.
It'll go over very good.
But that's what it is, isn't it? We see each other. And when that expression, we see each other eye to eye. But we see beyond the eye, we see the soul that we are. We see that bright light. And whatever's happening around, well, you have to take that into consideration, because if you see this bright, beautiful being, but is incarnated in a personality that's struggling and is shooting people and killing people and whatnot, well, you got to be aware. This is a dangerous personality, but the being is bright and beautiful, just like everyone else. So the minute we say hello to each other, we're recognizing that light, and we're recognizing there's no difference between you and me. And even if that person who is not awake, forgotten, they're limitless, the minute they start to receive that communication from somebody who hasn't forgotten, they start to remember. They don't know, they might not put their finger on exactly what it is, but they start to get out of that fear, and things start to become okay. And I've had that in experiences in the public, like on an airplane, where if you hit turbulence and it gets really scary. And so you're surrounded by all these people, and if one person starts to go out of control in the fear, it just spreads like a virus, and everybody starts to feel that fear. But most people don't recognize that fear isn't theirs. If you just think about, am I really afraid of this, whatever situation or condition that's existing, and you go, I'm not afraid of this, but I'm feeling it, then you look around and you go, oh, here's the person who's terrified of this. And say hello to that person, and it'll start to change. So if we can do this throughout the world, there's a lot of fear in the world, because people, like you were saying at the opening, there's a lot of division and separation, and they don't feel they're being seen. I go through these schools, especially the more the lower income and ghetto type areas where there's a lot of gang stuff and drugs and stuff, and some of the most beautiful, bright souls are incarnated in the kids' bodies that are there. And in different cities that I've been to, these schools, it's the most beautiful thing. And almost always there's this one kid who's like a gang leader or something in that class, and is the class disruptor and the problem. And after he's the problem all the time, everybody considers him a problem, and he continues to be the problem. And he gets isolated. Every time I see somebody like that, and they're sitting there sneering at me, and turning their back, and what's this idiot, but the minute I say hello to them, to who they are as the soul, they change. And they start to listen, and then they go, oh, you're talking about me. How do you see me? And they get very, very interested, more interested than everybody else even. And it's the most beautiful thing that happens. And that's the healing of the heart, is It's the healing of the heart is purifying, letting go of all that division that we create. It's all divisions are created in our mind. We do the creating of it. It doesn't exist in truth. That's the one thing I'm sure everyone who ever dies will experience that. On the other so-called other side is there's no divisions. It's all beingness. And when we decide, how many times a day, once we wake up in the morning into this body again, how many times do we decide against something? You know? How many times a person's thinking, oh, darn it, I'm so stupid, I dropped this thing. So who cares? God doesn't care. I mean, it's the least of God's problem. Is somebody stubbed their toe or dropped something or messed up on a test or whatever, or blew the interview, whatever. And it's so irrelevant. It has nothing to do with anything, but we live in a society where it's built up on that. If you don't do that perfectly, you're out of here. If you don't look just right, we're not going to hire you. You're not going to get this part. If you're not the best batter on the team, you don't get to play. It's all this competition.
In
that's
30
built up.
seconds, how can we cut through it?
Hello.
Hello.
Yeah. It's
coming from that
communication.
place
Yes.
of
what you said-
oneness and the experience.
Exactly. And what is that? Sharing, right? So just like you said in the beginning when you were introducing me, what do? I don't do anything but share. And what do I share? Anything. What I have. Today I have cookies, tomorrow might be chocolate,
And we caught you on the cookies.
Well, that's how it crumbles.
Right. And the liver thing. All right, so if you want any information about Michael, the artist, the art project, Wolfrobe, Cecilia, call me, Alan, 805-687-2053. Good night, God bless you, we love you.